Hello, young people of Africa. My name is Dr.Iddi Mohamed Faried, and guess what? I'm turning waste into opportunity. I'm turning banana and plantain waste into affordable and eco-friendly sanitary pads. And I want to encourage you today that look into that space. Gradually, the agri-food system, the African food system, and every food system is now going beyond just producing. Let's look into the space of repurposing waste. There are so many products that are out there. To them, it is waste, but to us, it is resources. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure having you, Dr.Iddi Mohamed Faried, who's the CEO of Kodu Technology.
Yes.
Welcome to the AGRA Podcast.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be here
We're
Yes.
excited to have you. We're excited to have you. So the conversations we're going to have today are really centered around building inclusive agri-food systems and making sure we leave nobody behind. You have been in this journey, you have dared, you have founded an organization, and you are going on to do amazing things.
Yes.
Would you please just tell us quickly what you are doing in this space and why it matters?
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm turning banana and plantain waste into menstrual hygiene materials. So I'm proving that in the agri-food system space, it's not only about growing crops,
Yes.
but we can also repurpose it and also change the status quo, change the narrative that the agri-food systems is not only about building, but it can also go beyond building. It can also solve critical social issues like period poverty. So the motivation behind my business is that I realized that most young women, especially in the rural areas in West Africa, anytime they are in their menstrual period, they always have to stay at home instead of being in school. Some of them, they miss quality school going hours, which affects their education and even prevents some of them from achieving their aim in life. So we are tapping into the agri-food system by changing the narrative, using banana and plantain waste to make sanitary pads. That's what I do.
Wow,
Yes.
amazing. I mean, who would have thought that banana waste could actually be able to solve a very social issue that can bring young people, especially women, back to the classroom. So let us go back quickly and you first tell me, what is your best food memory?
I remember those days, anytime I was leaving school, sometimes they used to sell this maize on the roadside. So that's usually those things I still remember when I was a kid. So when I was just going to school and I find these maize sellers, I just buy it. Then I'm in the car chewing it whilst I'm on my way to school. So this is one of the best memories I can remember, my best food memory.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think that makes the two of us. I love corn maize. Yes,
Yes.
yeah. And which dish, in your view, do you think best represents Africa?
So I'll say jollof rice.
I knew that.
You see, jollof rice is a dish that so many African countries, they are trying to say they are the originators. Though we know Ghana is the originator of jollof rice, but most...
This war we're never going to win, but yes.
Yeah, so that's, I think we can say jollof rice because almost every African country, we relate to that dish. Senegalese are claiming they are Nigerians, Ghanaians, Sierra Leoneans, and Liberians. Everybody they are all, yeah. So I think jollof rice represents Africa.
Africa.
Yes.
No, I agree. And it's now really cut across multiple countries.
Yes,
so
yes.
jollof rice it is for us, yeah. So if you opened a basket of food from Ghana, in this case, what would I find inside that can best represent
Ghana. So I will go with cocoa and cassava, then the share fruit.
Yes.
So these are crops that are heavily produced in Ghana. Yeah, so we have cocoa, cassava, and so if you open a basket, those are some of the food you can find
the
in
food
it.
that you can find
Yes.
in? Okay, excellent. And you're very familiar with the CADAP
Yes.
declaration, and very recently we signed the Kampala Declaration,
Yes,
which
yes.
is the third version of
Yes.
CADAP. When you think about CADAP, where do you think we have seen most success, and where would you want more efforts to be put?
Yeah, so I think if you look at it, the goal I've seen that is we are pushing is the increase in productivity.
Yes.
You know, so far, recently, a lot of young people are now into the agri space. So to me, I believe that much focus should be laid in them. And if you look at it, Africa has the youngest youth population with or more than 60% of the youth under the age of 25. So I think that they are the people with the energy, they have the zeal at the moment. I think we need to invest more in the youth. With that way, we'll be able to push the CADEP goal of increase in productivity. If you ask me, that's
If
what
you
I would,
ask me,
yes.
yeah. And certainly for you who's in sanitary pads, you would have
Yes.
more waste to
Yes,
actually
yes, yes,
produce.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
no, that is great. So let us reflect on the last 10 years. If you could just give us some inspiration on how did you get into this space, but what have you seen in the last 10 years that has given you the greatest conviction that this is the way we are going to be able to develop Africa?
Okay, so I think those days we used to think farming is for the poor.
Yes.
Yes, and now we have a lot of people, even me, I'm supposed to be in the medical field, but gradually I'm moving towards the agriculture sector. So I think the change in narration that farming is not just for the poor, and we need to all come on board and farm because the world's population is increasing in number. If we don't come together, there's going to be serious food insecurity ongoing, and gradually young people are coming. So over the past 10 years, I can see more young people getting into farming. And the other thing I've also observed is that now most people are focused on climate smart farming. It's not only about producing crop, but now people are more into climate mitigation and resilience as well. So these are the two things that I've observed over the last 10 years that's changed in the agric space. Yes.
Okay, that is excellent. So you're saying there's more interest?
Yes, yes.
We're seeing more different diverse skills coming in. I mean, you're a doctor and you are in the agri-food sector.
Yes.
But also the climate shocks, the shocks that we have been having.
Yes.
So when you again reflect on the decade before us, those two things have caused the shift.
Yeah, yes.
But
yes.
what is the experience of particularly young people embracing these opportunities into economic solutions?
So I think now, with the way things are going, I think young people should focus on changing, bringing ideas. For instance, in Ghana, we produce a lot of cocoa, yet we export cocoa as raw materials to other countries. That changes into chocolate for us. So I think young people should also now figure out a way we can also produce our own food, that way to be able to drive these goals we are talking about. Yes. So I think that is what I would say. I think now we should focus more on producing rather than just exportation. With that way to change a lot of things in the agri-food space.
Yes.
Yes.
And I mean, your example is one such great example is value addition, bringing value to banana waste.
Yes, yes.
So can you tell us a little bit more about your inspiration? I mean, like, what did you have to go through to create a product that is now available for young people to use, for young women to use?
Okay, so some of the things I went through was initially the finances was a major challenge for me, and also the lack of innovation labs. I had an idea, but do we have the laboratory in Africa in Ghana that can help support me? Those were some of the challenges I had. So I had to rely on videos from other countries and try to improvise. So if I see them using a particular machine built in India, in China, I have to think of a way. If this works like this, then let me put it on a fan. If they are using an oven, do we have those things here? So I started improvising. Though I was doing it, but I was not producing the quality things that other countries will produce. So most of my main challenge came with financing, also the innovation labs and the markets. Now I have the product. As you said, this might even be the first time people are hearing of such product. Do I have the market for it? Are people ready to accept this? These were some of the challenges I faced starting this business. Yes.
But how did you then overcome this?
Yeah, so with that, as I through collaboration and partnerships, and also, so I was the type that I asked a lot of questions. Once I don't know something, I ask. I don't always keep things to myself. I had to even involve some of my lecturers in school. So I started partnering people like AGRA, like Cosmos Innovation Center, the European Union. These were people that came and they supported, and I was able to overcome some of these challenges in the initial stages.
Yeah. So do you think many young people are held back by lack of curiosity, lack of exploration, lack of engaging with other people?
Yeah, so I think excuse me to say, most of our leaders are very greedy. They still want to empower themselves rather than empowering the young people. So there are certain bottlenecks you face when you start this business. For instance, my country, the taxation rate is very high, especially when you are importing machineries and all those things.
Yes.
These are things that are supposed to make things easy for yourself. Like me, for instance, there was a point I wanted to even give up due to these taxations, but due to certain partners, as I said, I speak with a lot of people. They were the people that were able to motivate me to drive forward. So most young people, it's not that they are losing interest, but the systems make things, they frustrate them, letting them lose interest, and they feel like it's better I just focus on the 9 to 5 jobs. I should focus on going to the hospital to work. It's better than me starting thing on my own. So these are some of the challenges young people we face.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing your story, because I think young people out there that are sitting on innovative ideas, you're basically telling them you have to keep going. You don't have to, sit on the idea you have.
Yes.
Okay, great. So talk to me about, because business, from idea to an enterprise, there are probably two different mindsets. So you have to be in different. How did you be able to overcome, move from being a doctor to finding a great idea and now running a business? Is it what you expected? What surprised you?
To be very honest, if you ask me that,
Yes.
I had this perception. I remember in my class back in the junior high, primary school days,
Yes.
anytime the smart students, we used to call them, they are the doctors and nurses. And if you are not smart, let's say you are still trying to pick, we are all slow. We have people who are slow learners and we have people that are fast learners. And there are some people at a very tender age, they find it difficult picking up. So if you are the type that you struggle to pick up, some of the teachers will label you as, when you grow up, you become a farmer. We used to think that farming, as I stated earlier, was for the poor. So what surprised me was that I was just I was watching CNN one of those days, and I saw how they were cultivating banana and plantain, and it got me so impressed. But there was this thing I discovered in the cultivation. I realized that anytime you harvest the fruit, you just throw the waste away. You must always cut the waste. If you don't cut the waste, the plant will never grow. So before you cultivate, cut. Once you harvest, cut it down and just throw it away. So I was wondering, so why are farmers just dumping this? There should be something, because I believe that everything created by nature has a purpose.
Reason, yes.
Even snake venom, there's something you can do with snake venom, though it's very dangerous. But if you do more research, you figure out that in snake venom, there's a good thing out of it. So I felt like we needed to do something. So I started exploring. Then I realized that these banana and plantain waste, we source them in some of these rural areas. And I noticed that in the earlier stages of our innovation, the R&D, the waste could absorb fluid for a very long period of time. So I visited the farm one of those days. Then I found out that most of the young ladies there, they struggle anytime they are in their period. Some of them even use the banana leaves to put on their underwear. And just put it on anytime they are in their period. So the question was, if it can absorb, why don't I just turn it into something? So that was what motivated me. I felt like it was a social duty on me. I can't see this and let it go. I'm in the medical field to save lives. That's the motto, a service to humanity. And now this is a point I have reached where people are struggling. So obviously I need to also serve them. So that was what motivated me. Then I started turning this waste into the sanitary pads for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is excellent, and I know that very many young people care deeply about some of the social inequalities that we experience.
Yes.
But now I wanted you to also share with me the journey of becoming now a founder. Besides capital, did you find that seamless? Were there some surprises on what it takes to run a business? What did you have to learn in that journey to now become an entrepreneur?
There's a lot I have learned from it. And to be honest, the toughest part is working with people. I used to wonder why people always have issues with their employees, workers, partners, and all those things. But when I got onto the field, I realized that it's not easy. That's why our fingers are not the same. We are not all the same kind of people. So somebody might see this way, another person will see it that way. So that was what surprised me. I started understanding that we are not all the same. If I want to do something this way, I shouldn't assume that it's this way. So those were some of the surprises that came out. And another surprise was that I used to think the government, they were just their arms were just open to help. Then I realized that no, it's not like that. They just do that. Not that I'm shading the government in my country, but most of them, they just do that for the cameras. They make it seem like they are helping, but they are not actually helping. That was what also surprised me. Then I also noticed that people outside Ghana, they were the ones willing to help than the people within Ghana. Like AGRA, Cosmos Innovation Center, the European Union, and all those. They were the people that were supporting me rather than my people. So those were some of the things that surprised me. And to be honest, I've not gained any support from my country. All the support I've gained so far is outside my country. So those were the things that surprised me.
Wow. That is great. Thanks for sharing that. But who is benefiting?
Yes, they are. Yes, everybody.
Yes. So now that we've really reflected, and thank you for being honest about your lessons. Now we're looking at the next 10 years. Yeah. As you've said, we are grappling with so many complexities, so many risks, so many challenges. Where do you see the future of Africa?
Yeah, so I think the future for Africa is very bright. With programs like the ASF Food Forums and all those things, they bring all the youth together. That's why at the AFS Forum, they have a place for the youth dome, for the youth to
engage.
Yes, to engage and inspire each other. I think gradually the youth, they are going into farming. And now, people have now understood that the agric space and the food system space is not only about the food. A lot of people are doing so many wonderful innovations. Like people are repurposing. Even currently, there's a company in Ghana, they are repurposing cashew waste shells into grease, organic into grease, grease for lubricant, moving the agri-food system into the automobile industry. I even have companies in Ghana who are now processing plastic waste into fertilizer, using wax worms and all those things. People are even turning wine, making wine out of tomatoes and all those. So there are lots of wonderful innovations that are coming, and it's not all about just producing food, but also processing waste and all those things. And this is what makes the future for Africa very bright. We should change the status quo. We should just not focus too much on production, but also bring new innovations that will also help drive the food systems.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that is great. And I like the insight, in terms of, so there's budding innovations.
Yes.
And young people are coming to the sector, on farm, off farm, and all of that. But you mentioned earlier on that the support is not sufficient, and it might hold many young people back. When you reflect on that challenge and convert it into an opportunity, what do you think we need to do to galvanize all of these key stakeholders around the common vision of converting the opportunity of Africa to become the next best place to do business?
Okay, so I think I will state it in a way that I also think that we should just stop, as I mentioned earlier. We should stop the exportation of raw materials and rather invest in ourselves to convert it into other things. How do we, in Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, the two countries alone, they produce 60% of the world's cocoa. But if you go deep down, you realize that they are not even the world's leading producers of chocolates, Milo, and all those things. But if we start investing, also start processing these things, these foods and all those things, it will change a lot of, now it will even create a lot of jobs. Imagine setting up so many cocoa factories to change it to and all those things. So these are some of the things that I think in the next 10 years we should look into. We should stop the exportation of and now look for self-sufficient Africa, an independent Africa that can also produce its own food. We don't have to be importing. That's it costs the country a lot. So these are some of the things I think in the next 10 years we should look into.
So, but practically, I think I hear you, and I'm sure you had the speeches today and in many places where you've been. Food importation bill, we need to reduce it. This, we need to do that. But practically, what will it take for you to get the leaders that are leading us to actually prioritize this? Because we have everything it takes to make it happen, right?
Yes.
You just said, entrepreneurs are not facilitated. Technologies cannot be scaled. This and that. What do you think could be that 1, 2, 3 ideas that you think, because you are a practitioner, you are on the ground doing these things happen, to bring that urgency to move away from talk to real action that can then make Africa the best place to live?
Okay, so I think we should design a program based on 3 elements. The
Yes.
first element should be finance. The second should be the innovation lab I spoke about, and the third should be
Yes.
market. So if we design a program, get some of these entrepreneurs on it, finance them. That's the first thing. Give them the investment they need. Give them the innovation labs where they can also try their hands on things, practice, like they'll try to see what they can do with it. And the third one is give them the market access. If you're able to design a program like this, I think this is what would move us towards we producing our own food rather than we producing our own products, making our own products rather than exporting the raw materials to other countries to make the products for us. So I think a program like that will help us a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell me about your own market. I mean, you're right now producing sanitary products out of Banana West. Have you been able to service the market in terms of the demand? And if you were to export to neighbors, Nigeria and Togo, can you easily cross boundaries to do that?
So for now, our production capacity is a bit low for now because we are just we haven't really gotten enough investment, though it's quite okay. But we are still looking at, it's possible, yeah. We are looking at conquering the whole of Ghana before we move into the nearby countries. And I think we should look at that free African continental trade thing. We should open our borders to other African countries. That way it will be easier for us to work. But there are some countries you need to get visa and all those things. I think gradually the leaders are advocating for that. If we're able to do that then, that free African continental trade thing, I think it will be easier for us to penetrate into the nearby market. For now, the West African market is quite is better because in Ghana, most of the West African countries, we don't need visas to visit. Like Senegal, they didn't need visa to get to Senegal, and all those. So I think with the nearby countries, it's quite better, but there are some other countries you still need visas to get into. So I think we should look into the free.
Some of those, and some of those. Yeah, great. Awesome. So I would like you to share your experience around what type of partnerships do you think, or collaborations, do you think we need to solve for that tripartite solutioning of a program?
Yeah, so we need to get partners who are ready to invest in us, who believe in us. These are the sort of partners we need. Not partners that are in for selfish interest and all those things. We need partners that are ready to invest in us. I think with such partners who are genuinely ready to invest in us, with such partners, we'll be able to do this thing we are looking at.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you think about, for example, universities, I mean, you studied medicine, you went to a university in Ghana or in other countries. Do you think that the knowledge, the academia is producing young people that have the type of resilience to focus on innovations and convert them into the next, big idea that will solve Africa's problems?
So I think most of the universities, is theory they teach us. They don't teach us practical example. There are people that are even studying aerospace engineering, but they have never even sat in the airplane before. These are some of the challenges we are facing. You have people studying biomedical engineering, but they haven't even made anything yet. People studying computer science, and all they know is how to program or format a computer. They haven't really done the practical thing. So I think we lack innovation, practical innovation labs and practical innovation facilities that can give us. So somebody can have a very brilliant idea in the university, but the person doesn't even have a place where he or she can go and try to see if they can execute it. So I think these are some of the things we lack in our universities. They teach us the theory aspect, but we lack the practical aspects of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. No, thank you so much. I really like the idea around innovation labs, but also, opportunities for people to practice.
Yes.
Because if you don't get your hands dirty, you will never know how to farm.
Exactly.
Yeah. So for the young people that are listening to you and watching you now, what one idea can you give them to inspire them to move away from dreaming and moving that idea to a practical something? What's your one take that you would like to give them, share with
I think now the repurposing of the waste space is quite a new and an open space. They should start looking at products which otherwise would have been discarded. There are people that are now going into that space, and I think if we grab that, we'll fully exhaust the entire food system, and we'll even align ourselves with SDG Goal 12. That's responsible consumption and production, the climate. I mean, the circular economy and all those things. So this is a space I will advise other Africans, my fellow Africans, to also look into. That's the space where we repurpose agric waste into products. They should look into that space. There's a lot of opportunity in that sector.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, awesome. I like that. You've challenged me as well. So we look at waste, not as waste, but as an opportunity for an enterprising solution, and then build that off to create opportunities for other young people to get employed, but also to offer innovative solutions. No, thank you very, very much. It's been such an awesome conversation, Dr. Id, and thank you so much, and all the best with Kodu Technologies as you continue to give young people a dignified lifestyle and go back to school without shame.
Thank you.
Asante, thank you very much.